Hello, welcome to this presentation entitled The Logistics of Energy. My name is Martin Murray, PhD researcher at Ulster University, and the subtitle of the paper is Strategies for Achieving Energy Optimisation within NZ Mixed-Use Urban Developments. This is part of a PhD study I'm carrying out at the Ulster University, dealing with how NZEB, which is the European Standard for Energy, is perhaps underachieving in terms of achieving energy optimization. We all know where we stand in regards to policies and in regards to the fact that we now, it would seem, have less than 30 years to seriously challenge the energy problems that have existed within the construction industry. It is clear from a 2016 EU review that the current strategies are not working. We have consistently missed our targets under EU legislation, and yet it has been confirmed that energy efficiency is the most cost-effective way to reduce emissions, as noted in this review. And we also are aware of the fact that we need early movement. So the earlier the movement, the greater the ambition will give us space in order to work out how to solve the problems. The longer we leave this, the more space we are going to run out of. In regards to ambition, it is clear that net zero, which I would refer to as passive, versus not zero, which is the current NZEB legislation, needs to be significantly reviewed. And it's interesting that at the European Energy Conference in June last, ambition was one of the key issues identified by people attending the conference as to where our energy initiatives need to go in Europe. I'm speaking mainly from an Irish perspective, that's the Republic of Ireland, but equally, most of what I say applies to most of the Northern European countries, certainly in terms of the use of passive design. In Ireland, we have new legislation, which is basically NZEB legislation, which is current, and for non-dwellings will be operable from the 1st of January of next year. So this is all very much relevant right now. And my concern is that the reach of this legislation is not ambitious enough, whereas if we are building buildings now, they need to be completed and in use in 2050 as 0+ buildings. And it would seem that the buildings being built now new will not achieve that. So there is a problem. We do need to develop energy plus developments, and yet the standards being set under NZEB domestic, non-domestic and refurb are just not high enough in terms of U values or standards to what we can achieve, for example, using passive house and passive house EnerFit. And the EnerFit is important because we have an issue that the key challenge is refurbishment. We need to really look at how we are going to refurb, and to do that we need to move beyond the cost optimality of NZEB to the science and specific energy requirements of passive house. There is no doubt in my mind that passive house is the future, but it does need to be flexible. And I reference in my paper the Sainsbury Eco Store in Greenwich, for example, built to a very high eco standard back in 2000, but demolished in 2015. But we cannot be demolishing buildings of this nature, because the key issue is that in renovation, we need to keep the buildings, because the embodied carbon in a lot of the larger buildings is so significant. And as energy standards in operation fall, then the proportional mix of the embodied carbon becomes quite significant. And this is something we are not considering under current standards. So, for example, we need an understanding of resources. In Ireland, we haven't done so, and the Climate Action Plan has actually been brought to court by citizens and has been found to be wanting in that regard. So the real problem, in fact, is resources, the carbon budget, and how NZEB is going to deal with that. And the real challenge is time. Do we have time to solve these problems? And to do so, we need to reconsider NZEB. So do we go with passive or active? It seems to me that passive will give a much better quality of predictability in terms of heat loss as designed. The other beautiful thing about passive is that we can control it as designers. So when we have good heating systems, air tightness and good fabric, then we don't have to worry about the things that we don't control, which are the indoor temperatures, the hours of heating and so on. So where do we go from here? What do we do in terms of ensuring that we have accuracy and resilience? Certainly one of the things we need to move on to is an attitude of building control gone to a form of governance of building. And this is something that the Green Building Council are obviously promoting in terms of their European passport for buildings. So that when we bring a building into use, it comes with a passport in terms of its overall energy use. From that, I think we will begin to achieve accuracy, and we will also begin to identify the fact that our towns are a national asset, a resources centre, so that we can't ignore the inbuilt resources that are existent within our existing towns. And this is a European-wide phenomenon, whereby the small towns are suffering from planning strategies that have empowered retail facilities that are in effect non-resilient, particularly in regards to energy and community, and that was clearly shown in the COVID. So where do we go? We need improved standards, and we need to improve the logistics of those standards through fabric. And that fabric needs to be implemented against the carbon budget and the time limitation. And this will be achieved, I believe, through the development of mixed-use developments in urban settings, an industria loci. And this is the title of my next presentation within this conference plea. And I hope if you find the whole idea is presented here of interest, please check in with that. Thank you. Bye-bye.